Welcome everyone to today's video tutorial. I'm Jenny Druitt from Langwarrin, and today's workshop is called a One Sheet Wonder workshop. A lot of you may have done this workshop before using a piece of designer series paper and cutting it up to make an assortment of cards. Today's one's a little bit different. We're actually going to be making our own designer series paper, just using stamps and ink pads, and most of you will have a lot of these products in stock that you're able to use. We're also going to be using the backs of your designer series paper. Whenever you get a pack of designer series paper, it comes with a backing sheet. So these are quite useful to use for this technique. They stamp up beautifully. Also on your specialty papers, there's backing sheets that come in this either cardboard looking colour or a crumb cake colour. These are great also. They're a little bit thicker, but they cut up and they make great cards. So the project that we're going to do is stamping up a piece of this backing sheet of paper, cardstock. We're going to be cutting it to make 6 cards, and that will go into a box. So I'll just show you a couple of ones that I've done, just to show you that this is also good for a female gift idea and also for a male gift idea. The stamp set I'm using on this one is called Enjoy the Moment, and this is quite versatile because you could do also Christmas cards with it, but you can do male and female designs with this stamp set. So here's a gift idea I've made, making a box, and I'll give you the pattern for the box later. I've made a matching card using this technique and then decorated the box with one of the cards. So in here will be 5, normally if you do a gift set of cards there'll be 5 cards and you use one for the top. But this is just a little idea for a gift idea for a man, because men are always hard to buy for. Bunnings vouchers are great. So in this box is going to go a Bunnings voucher, a couple of packets of seeds, and some tree labels and plant labels. So anyone that's a gardening enthusiast, this makes a great gift idea for men. So if you're wanting a gift idea for females, using the same design, we're doing this box of 6 cards, 5 cards and envelopes. One goes on the top. So, and you just match up your colours of your inks with your cardstock so it all marries in. So I'm going to show you how to do your designer series paper and what you'll need to use it. Up here are some other designs that I've used with current stamps that are available. There's Daisy Lane and Very Versailles on this one. There's Painted Poppies on this one. And the top left one is Art Gallery, which will also look nice with the gold leafing, which I haven't done on that yet. So let's get started. Oh, and this one's the tulips one. This is done with the timeless tulips, this particular design. What I like about this, it's a really quick technique to do. I actually sat down and timed how long it would take to stamp the paper, and it only takes under 10 minutes to do all this, and to actually cut all the cards up, make the box, put them all together, you can do it in under an hour. So a very quick project to do. So what you need to do this project is one of your backing sheets off your designer series paper. It can be either, some of them have a bit of a sheen like a gloss to them. They're suitable to work on too, but the ink will take a little bit longer to dry. This one's just a flat one, that's fine. So all we need is your glue, your tape, pair of scissors, a pencil, and I'm going to use a plate as a template to place in the middle of this cardstock. I'm just going to make because my eye judgment's not very good, I'm working in a circular reef pattern, and the reason I'm doing this is when you cut your cards up, this will cut up into 6 cards, it just has a more interesting effect on it, and there'll be placements for putting words and verses on it as well. The stamp sets that I've decided to use, these are all current. we're using Enjoy the Moment, Forever Fern, Comfort and Hope, and I might use some of the words from this free hostess set that's available for qualifying workshops. So what we're going to, and the colour choices I've decided to use are, for the leaves I'm using the Mossy Meadow and Old Olive, and then for the other colours in the stamping we'll be using Cinnamon Cider, Soft Suede and Crumb Cake. So this is going to be a male version. If you wanted to do a female version, you just change your colours up, and there's a design up there I've done with exactly the same set. So it is versatile. So I've already got all my stamps out ready. So from the Forever Fern set we're using this leaf, and the little dotted design down here. And I'm using the colours Mossy Meadow. So you just open your ink pad. This is the big fern, and what you do is you just work in a circular motion, and you just leave a little bit of a gap in between your foliage for your flowers. And you're doing the stamping off method, so you're just stamping an image and then stamping off, so it gives a shadowing effect. Again, just leave a little bit of a gap, stamp, stamp off. And you can't go too wrong with this technique. It's a lovely collage effect where you can just keep adding stamps to fill in all the gaps, and it really does look beautiful. This is a great project to do as a class workshop, and the end result is you get 6 cards, and if you do an added project of a box, that's a plus. So okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add in some filler flowers, and I'm using the set Enjoy the Moment. So I've decided on this design here, these fluffy little pom-poms and these open seed pods. The colours I'm using on that are quite strong colours because it's a male card, Early Espresso, and we're using this little, I'm not sure what it is, but I don't want the tail end of this, so I'm just mounting the stamp up with the tail not on the block. And again, we're just going to do the stamping off method of inking it up and stamping one, and then I'm just going to stamp off so you get a lighter shade, and try and have your stems and things matching in the center where the pencil line is. At the end of this you won't see the pencil line, it'll be completely covered with all the stamps. So you just stamp on, stamp off. Okay, so that's that one. The next one will add a little bit more colour into this. We're going to use Cinnamon Cider, which is sort of like a terracotta colour. And we're going to use these little pods here. So again, it's still just stamping on, stamping off. And it really doesn't matter where you put these or how many you put on. You can do them in groups of 1 or 2, whatever. It might look a bit crazy when you start to do it and you think, oh my god, this looks a real mess, but by the time you're finished with it, it will look lovely. Next colour, which I forgot to get out, we're going to use Bumblebee. So this is quite a nice bright strong colour as well. So for the Bumblebee one, we're going to use these little fluffy pom-pom type flowers. So just just again, just stick them anywhere, stamping on, stamping off. I really do love this technique because you can't go too wrong with it. It doesn't matter if the images stamp over the other stamps, it will still look good. Even like that bit, that won't matter because it'll be being cut off. Okay, now we need some little filler stamps now to sort of break all that up a bit and fill it in. So we're using the little dotted design that was in Forever Fern, and I'm just going to use soft suede, and I'm just going to get the little dotted design and just randomly, again, it's all stamping on, stamping off. How easy is that? You'll find this is quite an addictive way of stamping because it's so quick. Everything all comes together really well. This is a colour called Crumb Cake, and I'm going to use a background stamp on this from Comfort and Hope, which is this one here. But I just want a very light colour, so that's why I'm using Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to ink this one up, and I'm just going to go virtually over the whole lot. What it does, it gives a lovely background image. It doesn't matter if it covers your stamps, it still looks good. Right, that's that one. And I will actually add one more little stamp. It's one of my favourites. It's out of this Comfort and Hope, and it looks like tiny little rings, but it really adds to the design of the card. So I might use Mossy Meadow for that. So we're just going to ink this up, and again this is just going to go anywhere. They look like little bubbles actually. So there you go. There is your designer series paper all finished. You could keep adding to that if you wanted to. If you wanted to fill in more spots, you could add more foliage, but I think that's quite enough on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this piece of cardstock in half at 6. Then we're going to cut it at 4 and 8. So that's going to give you 6 cards. I'll show you one I've done beforehand, just to show you how it looks. This is one done on the craft coloured cardstock. So I've actually picked out colours in here that I've used in the inks, matched them up with my cardstock. These are just 6 C6 size cards, and then I've trimmed, after you've trimmed that at 6, 4 and 8, you just have to take 1/4 of an inch off the top and the side of each card. So some of these will look like the writing's upside down, but I'm just showing you how that's the reef design. When you go to put the card, the piece that you've stamped onto the card, you can position that any way you like. So it just gives a natural layout of the card. It doesn't look like it's been just stamped and a message put on it. So I hope you like that. I'll be doing an extra video later on how to make the box and how to put the stamps together. So I really hope you've enjoyed that video. You should have all things at home to do this. So just some stamps and inks, and there's no big shot machine involved. You just sit down, get all your supplies. You don't have to get up, just keep stamping, cut them up and assemble them. Happy crafting, everyone.